A Wall Street Journal NBC News survey, businessman Herman Cain is now the frontrunner, garnering 27% of the primary vote. Now, that is a 22-point surge in just over a month. Governor Mitt Romney is now second with 23%. Governor Perry posted a third-place finish. And if you're wondering where Herman Cain's newfound support came from, well, note that Rick Perry dropped exactly 22 points since August. And as Cain rises to the top of the Republican field, well, liberals are quickly circling the wagons in an attempt to knock him, well, back down. And that includes Cornel West. Take a look at this.
What do you make of what Herman Cain said? He did acknowledge that racism exists, but he says, you know, it doesn't matter that much, that more of it is about actually working hard and making opportunities happen for yourself.
Well, one, I mean, black people have been working hard for decades. I think he needs to get off the symbolic crack pipe and acknowledge that the evidence is overwhelming.
Crack pipe? I think we may actually agree on this. I've known Herman Cain for over a decade now. Sure. I am not surprised by his rise. His personality, his warmth, what you see, his gregarious spirit, it's real.
Well, here's the thing. I was down in Florida right after the Florida straw poll. Then I went over to Iowa for my job here as a Fox News political analyst. And people were saying to me, you know, Juan, you don't appreciate Herman Cain. You don't understand what's going on. It's not that he's the, as some say, flavor of the month. You know, Trump was at the top, and then Bachmann was at the top, and Rick Perry was at the top. No, they say, you know what? He's a real conservative. He doesn't dither. He's not a flip-flopper. We know he's a conservative. He has a coherent economic plan. He has that 999 plan, has great appeal to people. And secondly, they say he's the kind of person who comes into a room, has a presence, a warmth that they just eat up.
Why is this a phenomenon? And I hate this.
Yeah.
If you are African American, if you are a black conservative in this country, it's free reign. The proverbial crack pipe, bad apple, Oreo, Uncle Tom,
token.
Sellout,
well,
token.
This, you know, I mean, and you think about it in terms of my book, you think about how the media doesn't grant any authority to anybody who's a black conservative, even a black Republican. You think about, do they ever put on people like Condi Rice? Do they put on Thomas Sowell? Do they put on an Alphonso Jackson? No.
We have Thomas Sowell on tomorrow night, by the way.
Okay, well, I'm saying liberal media, never. Those voices are judged inauthentic, not real. And I think what you're seeing when you watch Cornel West or Tavis Smiley, they are so threatened. They are threatened because they know that Herman Cain has real appeal and will bring conservative arguments to the black community in an effective way that haven't been done in generations. You got to think back, Sean. Eisenhower got about 40% of the black vote. You come forward, you know, people like Nixon, 32% of the black vote. The Republican Party, for the most part now, writes off the black vote. They don't put money or time into organizing.
Reagan did. Remember when Reagan?
He tried briefly, but I'm saying the Republican Party in the whole does not invest a great deal of effort. But with Herman Cain, when Herman Cain says he can get a third of the black vote, I don't think he's playing games. I think a Southern black man with his credentials and his economic plans, the fact that he was a success in business, you know, the fact that he's a gospel singer, he's a church-going. About 2/3 of black Americans in this country, according to Pew, are conservative Democrats. They're open to Herman Cain.
Why in this age of political correctness, you lived through it, your book is about it.
Right.
And why in this day and age is this type of rhetoric, it's almost acceptable that conservative African Americans are attacked in the most vile, vicious, hateful way, and it happens with regularity, Juan, and I find it despicable. And you do too. You don't.
Well, let me tell you something on a personal level. People attack me as a black conservative. I don't know that I mean, compared to you, this is craziness, but I'm saying you have to understand the minute that you vary from their box, then you're outside the box and you are to be viewed as a threat because you are challenging their way of thinking. And I think that's what's going on with Herman Cain for a lot of this kind of black political establishment.
What do you think came to your defense more? Because you are a liberal. I mean, you're proud to say you're a liberal, right?
Well, you
voted for Barack Obama. You cried the night that he won that election.
Well, I don't think there's any American who didn't have some pride in what happened. I mean, the first African-American elected president of the United States.
I think that was a good thing, but I think that you know how I felt about
But when you
Obama.
talk about, and it's interesting, you know, people say to me, are you a liberal or conservative? And I say, you know, if you ask me about something like gay rights or gun control, I'm on the left. But if you ask me about family values, about religious faith, about education, the importance of education, I am a conservative on those issues. So it's hard to put me in a box, but people want to know exactly where you are in the box every time. But I'm saying to you here tonight that I think when it comes to Herman Cain, a lot of these folks are threatened by Herman Cain, and they understand that Herman Cain is bringing new ideas to the table. And I think specifically on the Tea Party front, people who wanted to say the Tea Party are a bunch of racists, they say, oh my God, how come the Tea Party is supporting Herman Cain?
If you're Janine Garofalo, her rationale was, this proves that they're racist. I'm like,
right, yeah. They want to make Herman Cain into a puppet, a token, that he's being manipulated by the white Republican establishment. Here's the news for them. Herman Cain is, in fact, breaking barriers, and people should be proud of Herman Cain and his accomplishments.
Well said.